Welcome back to Ben the Menace. It's a real pleasure to see you. And today it's our first guest on the podcast. It's very exciting. Big round of applause for Ryan Goldsher, everybody. Ryan Goldsher.
Damn.
And actually, the podcast has been called, or was called, Ben Unfiltered for a very long time. 4 episodes. That's a long time in my life, and honestly, in the life of most podcasts. I heard most podcasts get canceled 11
After
episodes.
4.
I heard it was 11.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So we're almost halfway.
We're almost done.
Honestly, if we make it to 11, this is a huge success.
We're almost done, so this is great.
But I was like, we were hanging out, and you're like, how's Ben the Menace going? And I was like, what's that? And you're like, that's your podcast, right? And I was like, that's so much better than the name that we were using.
I just thought it was Ben the Menace because I was like, you're such a menace. I don't know why I thought it. I was like,
no, but it is now.
I was like, how's Ben the Menace? And you're like, what?
Yeah, you're like, how's your podcast? What's it called? Ben the Menace?
I thought it was funny.
Yes. No, and it's, again, so much better than Ben Unfiltered, which is the name Chris gave me for the podcast.
I'm gonna boo Chris.
It's kind of a filler name. I mean, it's like, I just like Ben the Menace is good.
Ben Unfiltered is good, but that's like what Bill Maher would call his podcast.
Well, it's also just kind of a lazy name.
Yeah. If I could defend myself,
Please.
when I came up with Ben Unfiltered, we were talking about Ben's dream job, like 95% of the
That's
time.
true. That's true.
So we were talking about a completely separate project. I was like, that's so much work. We need like a filler project. And I was like, why don't we do a solo podcast?
No, you're right.
Call it Ben Unfiltered. And then we went back to talking about
I didn't, when I brought up Ben Unfiltered and that you named it, I didn't say he slaved over it for days.
He
and
thought of
came
it
up with that. He
in 10
listed
seconds.
300 names and thought Ben Unfiltered was the best name. You just came up with it in 10 seconds.
It's a totally fine name. But
Ben the Menace, I think, is fantastic.
Ben the Menace fits. That's why I got to be the first guest.
Pretty much. Well,
Because I paid my way.
Honestly, this is a pretty low rent operation. In a lot of ways, this is your podcast now.
I've done more work. I've done a lot of work on it.
You've done more work than we have on the podcast.
I'm branding it. I'm doing it. That's great.
No, you've affected the podcast more than I have so far, and I'm the only one on it. It's great to have you here.
Thanks
Great to have you in conversation. First of all, I want to plug your special. You just came out with it.
I did.
With a special.
30 minutes, YouTube.
Yeah.
It's called Many People because I do impressions of many people.
He's an amazing impressionist. Like scary. Like people freak out. It's almost like this is going to sound like maybe a little offensive because you're a stand-up comedian. It's almost so good it's not funny.
I seriously get it. I understand what you mean.
It's like a magic trick.
It is 100%. So I always
people
think
are in shock.
There's like sometimes when I'll do one, not always, but like there's a moment when I'm starting like a joke as an impression that it's like dead silent.
Yeah.
But it's like what?
Yeah. Well, because with your skill set, you have to come up with good jokes that are attached to the impression,
or else you're a hack.
Well, of course you're a hack, and honestly, when in doubt, you're a hack.
I already am.
If you're curious about how you are as a comic, you're a hack. If you're wondering where do I stand, hack. But what I was going to say is, your impressions are so surprisingly good that you have to come up with some jokes attached to them, or else people are just going to have their mouths open, staring at you doing an impression.
Or else you get like the weirdest, because there's a lot of, like when I first started out, I was just doing impressions. It would be like, here's Al Pacino's birthday. And I'd be like, oh, wow, there's a cake. So Chris liked it.
That's pretty good. That's pretty fucking good.
I think it's dumb.
It's a good impression.
Yeah. But like, so I'll do Morgan Freeman, and that one is like almost never funny right away. Almost. Right. I'll be like, I love his voice. I'll be like, now today is such an amazing day. The time is now for Ben the Menace.
Well, also, I got to say, when someone hears, hypothetically, if someone goes, I don't know this guy who does a great Morgan Freeman impression, they're not thinking of a little blonde little blonde Jew like you.
They're not. They're not. And then that's where I started doing like, because I would get that so much. They're like, you don't look like him. So I was like, well, the whole joke is like, what if there was a Jewish Morgan Freeman?
That's great.
I'm like, Baruch atah Adonai.
Yeah. You told me you did that at an all black show and they did not get it.
They appreciated that I was doing it.
Yeah.
But I did all these like Jewish references and I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah. If you start like at a 100% African-American show.
It was.
Delving into what a bar mitzvah is, that you lose them at bar.
They were really appreciative that they were like, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. This is fun.
Yeah, there are probably some big ladies going, all right.
But that's not what you want when you're doing a bit.
Yeah.
I did that bit for you. You were a big fan.
I like it. I think it's a good bit. And I'm sure it worked in other rooms.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But you were like, you got to do Morgan Freeman at this all black show. And I was like, okay. But I didn't have any other bits to do.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm just going to do the Jewish one.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what you could have done. I don't know. You could like include Schindler's List.
Yeah.
That's a nice, in the Venn diagram of blacks and Jews, that's a nice overlap, I think.
Why?
I don't know. Wasn't he in Schindler's, or which one is he in? He's in something else.
Shawshank Redemption?
Shawshank Redemption. You could just talk about Schindler's List just for fun.
That's so different. So different.
Either way, Shawshank.
Shawshank, yeah.
You go somehow, you come up with the Shawshank.
Modern day Shawshank.
Sure. Yeah, Gen Z Shawshank.
I went to prison for illegally selling Bitcoin on the street.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, or Morgan Freeman getting canceled. Didn't he get canceled? They tried to.
He's
too
fake
old.
Canceled. He got canceled because they misunderstood what he said.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was about Black History Month, right?
No, he didn't get canceled for
that.
that.
He came on to some women, didn't he? Or they thought he did.
Yes, but it's on video. Okay, so it's a video of him, Michael Caine, and I think Alan Arkin. And this woman is telling a story.
Oh, they were in that old guy movie.
The old guy movie. I think it was literally called Old Guys.
Yeah, well, it's three old guys rob a bank. It's like one of those. It's the same genre of movie where it's like old people trying to have sex, and it's a rom-com. You remember all those Jack Nicholson movies he made?
I gotta go.
Yeah, it's just him having heart attacks while having sex.
Getting it up.
Yeah, he had a 3-picture deal towards the end of his career. It was just movies where he did Viagra and had heart attacks.
Jack.
And it's like a family movie where he's like, seizing.
This is hard Christmas.
That's a good Jack too.
So the Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Some woman's telling a story about how someone, when she was pregnant, someone accidentally asked if she was pregnant and she wasn't, or something like that. And Morgan Freeman goes, "Oh wow, I wish I could be there." And she thought he was like talking about her body or something.
Oh.
He was just talking about, I wish I was there for that funny incident. It was just like stupid.
That is one of the softest cancellations
It didn't
possible.
Stick. It didn't stick at all. And then, yeah, Michael Caine was there too, I guess. I don't know, he was just there.
Well, it's almost like he's talking to someone else.
Yeah.
And then you take the thing he said to the other person and pretend that they said it.
This is when they were just canceling. They were just like, let's go.
Let's just cancel anyone.
Let's go.
Yeah, rapid fire cancellation.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Well, I think the Johnny Depp case kind of put a stop to a lot of canceling.
First of all, I want to hear why. But second of all, I was thinking about this yesterday. I forgot who won.
Oh, he won by a landslide.
He won?
Yeah.
Okay. It was just so
I think
messy.
she owes him money, which is insane.
Which is crazy because
he's got
he's incoherent.
Yeah, he's incoherent, and I think he has a lot of money, or he lost all the money that he had, but he had a lot of money.
Yeah, he was not at the trial.
I'm pretty sure the end result was like she owes him $50 million.
He couldn't be a pirate.
Yeah, which is just physically impossible.
What a crazy thing. I couldn't be a pirate because of you. So now.
Well, it's like
now you
the whole thing was. She said he's a horrible husband, he's a horrible person. She's doing like a formal cancellation in a court. Mm-hmm. And not only did that not occur, not only was she not able to successfully cancel him, she owes him money now.
Oh, that's the worst cancellation of all time.
It's like a woman saying that Louis C.K. masturbated in front of them, and he's like, "Hey, guess what, bitch? You owe me $100 million."
It's like, oh shit.
So it's like the anti-cancellation, the reverse cancellation.
So you think that's why it ended everything?
And she also took a shit in his bed. That was good.
She did take a shit.
And I don't think it ended everything, but I think it slowed things. I don't think we're gonna get like a Morgan Freeman whoopsie daisies cancellation again. I don't think that's gonna happen.
No. It's weird. There's hard canceled and soft canceled.
Do you think you'll get canceled? Because you're going to be famous at some point.
I think
you
I
just
might
put out a special that's doing
for
very
this
well.
podcast. I think I might get canceled.
Yeah, that's almost guaranteed. I'm going to get canceled. And I don't even have a fan base. I have nothing.
It would be hard for me to get canceled because I just don't do anything. Like I don't even
do
go
anything
out.
bad.
I don't like. I don't do anything. Like I don't go out. I'm pretty like. I just sit at home.
Okay.
Like
you're a homebody. And that's, for those at home, that's code for murdering.
Okay. Getting arrested is different than getting canceled.
Yeah, you gotta have an alibi, Ryan. You gotta say you're doing something. Don't say I just stay. I'm just a homebody. I don't do anything. That's fishy. Don't say that.
I sign up for yoga classes all the time and
don't go.
Say I was there. Have receipts.
Again, you're just listing fishy anecdotes.
I have things on my phone.
I don't do anything. I sign up for things and I don't go. You don't seem like the kind of guy who would get canceled. No.
I don't feel like I am. But if I don't know, maybe those are the people that do get canceled. They don't think they will be.
I mean, anything can happen. Also, your taste could change. could start getting into something that's like technically not legal. You know, that sort of thing. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it could. Anything could happen.
Like you do.
Gambling is fully legal.
Not in California.
Is on my phone. It is.
How do you do it?
You do it through TwinSpires. TwinSpires is with the internet, with the inclusion of the internet, gambling is legal everywhere because you can just do it with a base in a legal state for gambling. So I gamble through Kentucky.
Oh, so if DraftKings took place in a different state or something.
Yeah. If you were in a different state, you could do it. And honestly, let's not even put this information out there. I'd love to keep gambling. I don't want them to stop. And also, they would lose so much money if they lost the state of California.
Yeah.
Everybody, most people who bet on horse races bet through two different apps, and they're not based in California. And those people who are betting on that app are everywhere. They're all over the country, probably international.
I feel like horse racing was like the first legal gambling.
It's funny. It was the first form of gambling, no question.
Yeah.
And it was very, very popular. Like when Hemingway was alive, like that time period. And now it is so antiquated, so unpopular that you can rebroadcast it. I can gamble.
You can gamble on reruns?
I can put it on YouTube. I could put a whole race on YouTube. Nobody's going to sue me. Nobody's going to do anything. And also, I can gamble from anywhere in the country on horse races, and I can't do that on football, like you said.
They just don't care.
Nobody is monitoring horse racing.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's untapped.
And when they find out how much money I'm making, they probably will start monitoring.
That's not true. You're losing so much money.
I just won yesterday. I won the biggest amount I've ever won.
Every time I talk to you, you say that.
It's also every time you talk to me, that's true. I just won $7,600 yesterday. Crazy.
You pay off something with that?
I don't have much to pay off.
That's good.
I had to pay off a $315 loan that I took out.
Why'd you take out a $300 loan?
I'm going to tell this story on the solo podcast. It's such a long fucking story, but my parents were getting calls. I was getting calls. I was ignoring them because I'm just like,
for $300.
I thought it was for like running a stop sign because there's a ticket that I thought I didn't pay, which I did, surprisingly. I've been winning so much. I've been paying everything off. To answer your question, I've won so much money betting on horse races. I have nothing left to pay off, which is a rare position for me to be in.
That's great.
Now I just have to pay the whole rent. I can't. What I need to do is start winning and not telling Christina that I won, because she wants me to pay her half, which is fine. I should. So a long time ago, I applied for a big loan. I wanted like a $5,000, $10,000 loan pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
And they turned me down at a very sketchy place, like Cash and Go or whatever. And then that night, I see in my Chase account they put $250 in. So they scammed me into like the world's smallest loan of $215, which they know I'm not going to pay off, and then they'll end up making some money on it. That's like a run of the mill predatory loan. Honestly, Mexican scam. I was the only person who spoke English in the whole place. I'm not saying it felt like I was in Mexico when I was there. It was actually the location that I went to was in MacArthur Park, like rough area. There's a good chance that more than $250 would have been stolen from my car while I was in there.
My roommate has had rocks thrown at his car.
Yeah. MacArthur Park is pretty rough. Yeah,
it is really rough.
And I'd imagine your roommate's pretty white looking, like pretty nice.
He's just driving a Jetta Volkswagen.
Really?
Greek guy, yeah.
And he's a Greek guy. Holy shit. I thought he would just be like a blonde. I thought he looked like Jake Paul or something.
No. But they threw rocks at his car.
Yeah, MacArthur Park's pretty scary.
So why did you settle on that establishment to get a loan?
Oh, I just was like going anywhere I could, you know.
So I
lived downtown at the time. I was living.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they put $200 in your account
without telling me they did it,
knowing that you will spend it
and not pay it, assuming I wouldn't pay it,
and you will not pay it.
Yeah. And now we're almost in 2023 now. It's been almost 4 years since I did this. I'm getting calls that I'm ignoring. My parents are getting calls, and the calls they're saying, "We know where your son is. We're gonna come find him. We're gonna put him in prison." Like all this crazy shit. There's a warrant out for his arrest. And my dad's like, "What the fuck is?" He's like screaming. "What the fuck? They're calling me. What the fuck?" And he's like, "Take care. You have to take care of this second." And I'm just like, I don't even know what this is. What the fuck could possibly be happening? Did they know that I stole from Whole Foods 3 years ago or something? Like, is it like? Do they know that like I didn't pay my taxes 5 years ago? I'm going through a series of things that it could be. I actually filed for unemployment. This is crazy. I don't know what the statute of limitations. This podcast should be called "I don't know what the statute of limitations is on this."
This is all menace.
I filed. Yeah, this is menace. I filed for unemployment at a job that it did not. It wouldn't have given me unemployment. Like I didn't work there.
Oh, okay. Oh,
and they were pissed, but I got it. I did get the unemployment. Nothing happened. It was really convoluted. It was a place where I was an independent contractor where they didn't pay me. People paid me to work there.
You just used their facility.
I used their facility.
And you said you were an employee of that place.
And I got unemployment through it, and they were very upset about it. Yeah. Believe it or not, I haven't been back. Okay, so I thought it was that. I thought they were coming after me. And I call this company that's like saying they're gonna fucking find me and kill me and all this stuff. And this lady's reading off my rights, and she read like 3 paragraphs of legal just nonsense. And then I go, "How much do I owe?" And she goes, $315.
Oh my God.
And I go, let me pay that now. Let me just get that out of the way now. And as that's happening, as she says $315, I just won $1,700. I watch a horse cross and I'm going like this. And she goes, "You're going to go to jail." And I'm like, yeah. And then over the course of that day where I found out that I owed $315, I paid it off. I won $8,000 after putting $400 into my account.
Wow.
It's crazy. On one bet, I won $6,000.
Jeez.
I put $100 down on a 45 to 1 horse that came in first.
Was it your rainy horse?
Yep. That's all I do now. I'm believe it or not, guys, I am very disciplined now.
Rainy horse strategy?
So I only bet on horse races the day after it rains.
Okay. Sounds like astrology, but
no, it's actually like, again, if I thought that anybody was going to steal this, I wouldn't say it because it's like such an amazing tactic. But when they switch from turf to dirt, there are certain horses that only run in that one circumstance. They're called main track only horses. They only run when they switch from turf to dirt when it rains.
Okay.
And those horses win at a very high rate.
How high?
I would say they come in first, second, or third almost 100% of the time.
That's insane. And
if they come, if a group of people who are betting on a race aren't aware of this, and one of the horses is like didn't have good speeds before, and they happen to be a main track only horse, like this last race yesterday, 45 to 1, came in first place. I missed a trifecta by one horse for $2,500. It could have been a $10,000 day. Oh, I just need a bankroll. If anybody wants to invest, if I was betting 10 times what I bet, I would have made 70 grand.
Ugh,
that's a year's worth of money.
Are literally like the epitome of gambler mindset.
But
you're never
100%.
winning. You're either, even if you win, you're like, I could have won so much more.
That's my joke.
That's gambler brain.
Yeah.
I have that. I put a really random.
Do you gamble?
I was in Vegas and my dad gave me $200 to put on crazy things. Mm-hmm. And one of them is looking like it's going to hit for 100-to-1 odds. And I'm like, I wish I put $4.
Yeah. No, that's how it goes. You win. I won $8,000 and I was like, fuck!
This sucks. This is the
worst. No, that's exactly how it works.
So a tree fell on your car.
Yeah. Hey, this is great. This actually kind of feels like sort of like a Charlie Rose situation a little bit. It's very minimal set and like serious conversation. You have a deep voice. It kind of feels like
I don't do an impression of it. Like,
can you do
a tree fell on your car.
That's pretty good. That's pretty damn good. That's an obscure impression at this point. That's not bad.
So weird. I do a couple. We'll talk obscure ones later, but a tree fell on your car.
Well, no, I've had some very bad luck in the last few months and some very good luck at the same time. It all kind of equals out. The worst luck I've had is that I almost went to jail for not paying a $350 loan.
Which at one point was a $215 loan.
Yes, it was $250.
50.
So over the course of 4 years, it accrued $65.
But I'm also like, that was like, they were spending so many man hours trying to get that.
I don't know. Part of me is just like, don't you have a guy who owes you 10 grand?
That's what I was thinking. Like they must,
or 3,000. Like
they must have no one.
What are you doing chasing down $250?
This is a bad business.
Yeah. So within the last 2 months, I've talked about this a little bit on the podcast, but within the last 2 months, I was visiting my parents, and a tree in their front yard fell through my car and split it in half pretty much. I'm still waiting on the title from Flagship, you fucks. Flagship Credit Acceptance is one of the most negligent, worst. I mean, it's not a big surprise that that's the loan company I ended up with. But I asked them for the title 3 months ago, and they say it'll come in October. And I called them last week, and they go, "Oh, we never processed that.
We didn't do that.
This car that's in 2 pieces is sitting in my parent's driveway. It's been just sitting there. You can't drive it without the title."
Oh my God.
We can't give it to anybody. There's a Mexican guy who wants it. He's a great guy.
He wants a car that's split in half.
He goes, "Yeah, I use it. Like, I'll do something with it." You know.
I don't know what accent that was.
I don't know what he's gonna do with it. I think it's like he'll use it as a go-kart for his kids or something. I don't know what he's gonna do.
No
Could be
idea.
on his compound. You know, Chris is Hispanic, so I'm allowed to say all this stuff by proxy.
I don't know what that is.
There is a phenomenon in Mexican culture where I think you guys like big compounds where you house a lot of people and there's like a lot of go-karts and chickens and stuff, right?
Yeah.
There we go.
That's true.
He said yes.
That sounds so stereotypical.
It's a generalization that is accurate, and the reason it's a great generalization is I'm the only one using it.
That is true.
Right?
The actual answer, it's not like funny or anything. It's just that when you have like broken down cars, you can take parts off of them.
Yeah, and sell them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can see this car that's split in half on his compound, where he's got like multiple families living there. There's go-karts, dirt, goats, chickens. You have one of those. Your family has one,
yeah,
right?
but now it's we have the nice.
So yours is like is like the Beverly Hills version of that. But I think it's cool. I want a Mexican compound when I grow up. I would love that.
Jews don't do that.
No, we do the opposite. Pretty much the opposite. We just collect Mexicans.
I'm not releasing.
Yeah, Jews are. We don't get our hands dirty. We don't touch chickens or goats or any of that sort of stuff. We don't.
No, my dad is the least handy person ever.
We're also very urban. Like, we don't really live in the country on average.
No,
we don't like farm or do any of that. I would love to do that eventually. I would love to have chickens. My parents actually have. They have ducks and chickens that they share with their neighbor. And it was we ate like duck eggs and shit. It was awesome. But then a coyote got in and ate every single chicken.
Oh,
he ate like 6 chickens, and then one of the ducks died of a heart attack.
just from fear?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Isn't that terrifying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
While you were there?
No.
Okay.
No, I was, but last time I was there, tree fell through the car, split it in half. That was a real nightmare.
Yeah.
I got a new car with the settlement money. And that car, while I was, did I tell you this?
No.
While I was doing casino shows in New Mexico, the front left tire fell off of the car.
Just rolled right off.
Yeah.
It's a new car?
New car. I got new tires put on.
Oh, with Toby, right?
Yes, with Toby Hicks. I told that story here too. But I went to a tire shop down the street here, had them put on new tires, and they fucked up and didn't tighten one of them. I drove 1,300 miles and then it fell off.
And did your car just like fly?
Yeah, I was in Mescalero, New Mexico. Like I was in the middle of nowhere in the woods. But a bunch of people stopped to tell us the elk are in rut right now. So if you stand outside of your car and an elk sees you, he'll murder you trying to have sex with you.
They're in what right now?
Rut. That's when they're like having. They're just. Supposedly, rut means we'll fuck anything.
They didn't help you at all. They're just like, you got to get out of here.
Yeah, it's like hide in your car. No, that's what they said. Hide from the elk.
The elk are gonna run you.
So within 2 months, I had a car get split in half, and then a front tire fall off of a car. And within those 2 months, I won $15,000 on horse races.
You got to just take the L's with the W's. This is great.
it's a big mixture.
Slingshot week. That's what I call it.
In place of almost dying, I'm getting money, but I don't know if that really works out.
No, it works out. That's what matters more.
Money matters more than living.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you just put out your special.
Oh, yeah. I put out my special.
It's doing very well.
It's doing really well.
Are people jealous? Other than me, are people jealous?
Other than you? I will get... Comedians are incredibly like... I don't know.
Passive aggressive.
Like, so
LA comedians are the kings of passive aggressiveness.
So like, I'll get a lot of like, I'll be like, yeah, like it got a lot of views, and like, did you like pay for ads? Did you like, did you pay for it?
So fucked.
I'm like,
I know that you didn't. I know that you didn't because you're Gen Z TikTok fucking. You're like exactly what it is. They'll just gobble you up. You're like crack for Gen Z.
Yeah, the TikTok clips are doing well, and it's like,
well, it's like, let's be honest. You're a good looking guy. You do spot on impressions of old black guys. No, but you're like in especially a short video. So that they're like, oh, cool, this guy looks like he's in One Direction. And then you're doing a spot on impression of some celebrity they like. How could they not love that? And then you put half an hour together of that, of stand up that you've built over years where you're doing that. To me, it was a no brainer.
Well, thank you.
That doesn't mean I'm not extremely jealous. But it was a no-brainer.
No. It's through a production company. So I don't know. Maybe they bought ads or something, but you can't pay for TikTok views and all that stuff.
No. Like, I mean, your TikTok views are high. People like what you're doing on social media. And your management company probably does a good job managing their channel. I'm sure they do. But you put out a good product also.
Yeah, I think so. But it's doing super well. For who I am and where I am in life, I was like, this is great. Like, so... really the reason I brought you here is, can I open for you? You can open for me. I'm like, I need to write so much more material. Like that was like stuff I've written for years, and now it's all out.
Now you're gonna have to do hours because people are gonna want to see you do and probably a new hour too.
Yeah, I don't
have to write an hour of stand up.
Yeah, I don't have that.
But you can just go out. Hey, Al Pacino.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I don't think I know that it's tough work, but like if you put 6 great impressions together,
and just talk about them.
Yeah, you could work out an hour pretty quick. I think.
And then there's it's like when I knew I had to do the special, you were with me for a lot.
Yeah.
I
talked you off the ledge before.
Oh yeah, I was sitting on the street, literally on the street in Cincinnati. Like
I didn't realize you were on the street.
Sitting on the
street. I
street.
would have told you to give up.
I was like, yeah, man, I'm a hack. You're like, yes, you are. But
I think everybody's a hack.
Everyone is a hack. But when I first met you, I think I had 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, all right, I ended up doing 40, cut it down to 30. So I was like,
That's a good place to be.
When you have to do comedy, you just write stuff. But like,
yeah. Well, and if this puts you on tour, you will generate more material. There's no question that you will.
I have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to. But it's scary. Like the idea of I can't sit down
good.
and write.
That's the good stuff.
That is the good stuff.
The fear is good. You don't want to be like Jay Leno sitting on his jokes he's been doing for 50 years.
Jerry Seinfeld does jokes about like, well, crazy thing about having a toddler. And his kids are like 30.
Yeah. You don't want your jokes to be that
it's
old.
Like, how old is this joke?
I mean, Jay Leno's doing jokes about like TV shows that were on 30 years ago.
Crazy thing about
yeah. You guys watching Chips? I was watching Cheers the other day.
Great joke. Thanks, Jay.
And he was a great comic, but like this stuff gets stale, and I think the fear is a good thing.
I think fear is a good thing. I also think getting very, very successful is a bad thing.
Yeah.
Anytime I see like one of those really old guys do comedy, I'm like, this is like they have nothing pushing them to do it.
No, it's true. And when you watch an older guy who isn't quite as successful, it's usually better.
Yeah, because they're not resting on anything.
No, they
like. There's a comedian I love, Fraser Smith.
Sure.
He writes new jokes every week.
Is he?
Yeah, the Snap guy.
Yeah, Fraser's good.
He's solid, fast, funny, and he writes a new joke every week because he doesn't sit on anything. He's not.
No, and he's a great guy, not famous.
He's not. He's Tim Allen's opener.
Yeah, that's code for not famous. No, he's pretty successful and he's been around forever.
Done the Tonight Show like,
and he's a funny guy. He's a very nice guy. He remembers me when I see him, which I can't believe.
Yeah,
that he actually.
Okay, I think he's lying because the first time I met him.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, Fraser. Goes, hey, buddy. Oh, so good to see you again. How are you?
Does he always do that?
I'm like, well, I've never met you. So.
That might be right. I mean, I've seen him a lot over the years, but you might be right. He might have no idea who I am. It's possible.
He may. I don't know. I think he was the first time I met him. He said, "Good to see you again." But now he knows me. So
I hosted a couple of shows that he did, and now he always asks me if I'm hosting. I think he he doesn't know my name, but he
doesn't have to.
He's a vague.
He doesn't know my name.
And to be honest, I don't care if you know who I am. I could care less.
That's the menace complex. Yeah. I just don't care. No. So Fraser's a good example. He's stayed funny, stayed good, is nice.
Yeah.
And he's not sitting on jokes from 85.
But let's be honest. You want to be better than Fraser. You want to be more successful than Fraser.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean.
You want to be exactly as successful as Fraser Smith?
I can't answer that.
We're going to clip this.
It's making me sweat answering that.
And Ryan and I, we get along very well. I think part of the reason we get along so well, when push comes to shove, I think we actually have similar taste in things.
Yeah.
But we are almost exactly opposites. As comics.
Yeah, I think so.
Like the stuff that gets me excited, you would never want to do.
Oh, like joke wise?
Like in this podcast, the stuff where I'm like, oh, cool, I can talk shit about Fraser Smith now.
I'm like literally sweating.
You're sweating.
You're like, hey, the nicest guy
My disposition is the exact opposite of your disposition.
The nicest guy you know, you want to be better than him, right?
Yeah. That's a funny question. That's a good question.
You want to be better than that
guy. Yeah, he's really nice. Not that successful.
Yes, we are the opposite. My podcast would just be so milk. It would
well, if you're not doing impressions, it would be like you doing shout outs to young women.
Hey, I got this nice DM. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, moving on.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it would just be like compliments of people. But yeah, we are the opposite. We get along very well because I like the way you shit on things. Yeah.
It feels good. I appreciate that. And I respect the fact that you have bigger aspirations than I do in this industry. And you're walking. See me? I'm just walking. I'm like, what's the analogy here? You're walking on eggshells.
Yeah.
Just at all times. Because something could go wrong that could ruin your stardom.
Yeah.
Stardom is probably destined for you. And honestly, this podcast might never come out because of that. And for me, for that kind of stardom is not for me. So I can do anything I want.
You're throwing eggs on the ground.
I'm here. So you're walking on eggshells that I laid out for you. That's the analogy.
Yes. You were literally throwing the eggs.
I bought a dozen eggs. I threw them on the ground, and you're like, oh, ow!
Please don't bring that up.
Yeah.
Mexican compounds. Oh no. Shit.
Yeah, Mexican compounds. That's like G-rated. That's just an obvious thing.
Oh my God. Yes.
So you're gonna be famous. The special is very successful. Has your management talked to you about headlining? Do they want you to headline?
I don't know. I got a very vague email about, do you want to do I was like, do you want to do a college in Virginia? I was like, yes.
Do you have college representation, or are they going to send you out for college?
No, this wasn't even people I know. This was an email I got.
Oh, just like a random one.
And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I don't have an hour. I didn't say that.
Why don't you should, I was just sending out college tapes. You should do that.
I should definitely do that.
You could make a shit ton of money because you're like not offensive. You're nice.
Yeah.
I did UNLV 6 months ago. First of all, everybody's gay.
At UNLV?
Yeah. They liked some of my stuff. They were in shock for some of it.
Like which parts?
Oh man, like when I just would get harsh or be like really brutally honest about anything, which is like most of where I think I'm good. That's like a lot of the stuff I
love that zone.
Well, yes. No, I'm pretty sure that's like the thing. If there's an instrument that I play, that's the instrument, right? It's like the honesty, like being raw and vulnerable and honest. Like ideally, it's some combination of all those things. Anytime I headed towards that territory, they're like, I saw little kids with purple hair going. I said something about dating, and the only reason I know they were all gay, I don't know they're gay because I just looked at them and go. I didn't look out at the audience and go gay.
All of you.
No, I know that they're gay because I was doing a bit about dating, and I go, "Are you guys on the apps and stuff?" And then a bunch of them in unison were like, "Nobody's gay here." Like they were all like, the whole crowd was like, "No one's gay," and I'm like, "Well, why don't you guys just all fuck each other? You're all gay."
I said, "No one's gay."
They said UNLV and Las Vegas has very few gay people, but evidently the gay people that do go to UNLV are in the arts. Okay. Not a huge surprise, and they showed up at the comedy show, and a lot of them were in the improv troupe that went on.
You said nobody's gay.
Yeah.
No one's gay for them to fuck. That's what they were complaining about.
Oh, on the apps.
On the apps.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're talking.
So it was.
In unison.
I also forgot to tell you there was an audience of about 20 kids.
Oh, okay.
Who all complained that there was no one who was gay. So there's 20 kids on UNLV's campus who are gay. Half of them are in the improv troupe. The other half are probably fucking the improv troupe. And they were complaining there aren't more gay people.
Got it. So they were just heavily.
Believe it or not, that's not my audience. When push comes to shove, 20 gay kids at UNLV is not going to be my audience, I don't think. They're nice kids. I like them.
Think your comedy works for a lot of people. Maybe not them. What do you think is your perfect audience?
So far, it's a very good question. So far, it's getting a little bleak out there. No, like so far, my audience, based on like relatively limited experience, is people in their like early 50s, late 40s, who are drunk and think racism is funny. You
gotta do Irvine, dude. You gotta do Irvine.
That's like, if I'm murdering, a lot of the time I find myself doing pretty well in front of groups of people who probably are laughing for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
And not like people who are like, when they hear the Gen Z bit, they're on board from the second I mention Gen. They're just like, fuck those guys. That's a killer audience for me. And I like everybody. Like I did Florida State maybe 6 months before that. Those are the two colleges I've ever done. And that went amazing. They were all, I mean, Florida's a pretty red state.
That's your zone.
So red college kids, maybe it's red. I should lean into being red.
Let's change the name again.
Red Ben. I do think it's like someone who maybe is moderate but errs towards sort of like that right-wing sense of humor, but it's kind of open-minded. That's like an ideal audience for me.
I was shocked. So one of my clips from the special is me doing Biden, and it got reposted by a lot of like Trump accounts.
Oh,
a lot.
interesting.
And I was like, wow, I did not think this was even like that type
Because
of
they
bit.
thought you were shitting on Biden.
Like I am,
Yeah.
but it's not politically related. It's just like he's old.
No, but
weird.
you're going like, here's what's wrong with Biden, and all those Trumpers are like,
Yeah.
this guy knows what's going on.
And it's like on a lot of Trump pages.
Great.
It's like, how did that happen? Like I didn't. I got DMs that are like, love the stuff, brother.
Yeah. That's great.
I got someone followed me and their bio says non-diverse. I was like,
honestly, you're asking about my audience. That's my audience.
I was like, he was like non-diverse, and it was like the pronouns are whack. Like I was like,
fuck.
All right.
Yeah,
man,
again,
okay.
at the moment, that might be my crowd. Pronouns are whack.
I'll set you up with that. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't think the Biden bit was that vibe, but I guess it is.
Well, anything that shits on Biden, they're going to jump on. That makes sense.
It does make sense.
And when SNL makes fun of Biden, they probably love it. And they hate SNL.
They
At
do
face
hate
value,
SNL.
they hate SNL. And my kryptonite, ironically, is San Francisco, where I'm from. That's like my least favorite place to perform.
Oh, kryptonite, as in like that's your bad zone.
I have had some of the worst sets of my life in San
Because
Francisco.
that's the opposite of Florida State.
Yeah. And actually, it's the opposite of Florida State, no question. It's also like, it's a weird mixture of wokeness, of course, but also maybe like a sprinkle of, computer programmer, autism.
That's your code. That was your code for autism.
Yeah. It's like social. I mean, by definition, autistic people are having trouble interacting with people and picking up on subtext and stuff. And they're also trying to be woke. That's a rough combo.
Of trying to understand all social cues.
It's like an audience full of Mark Zuckerbergs misfiring on what's politically correct.
Yeah. It's also the thing with like a woke crowd is they're always erring on the side of don't laugh.
Well, and I've heard a lot of people say that they have great shows out there. So good for you guys.
Yeah.
My thing with San Francisco is it feels like they're processing everything a lot longer than they need to. Like they're not reacting to stand up.
Because they're like evaluating whether they trust you or not.
Whether they trust you or not, and also whether or not the joke is a trustworthy joke.
Yeah. I have some jokes that start really slow because of that.
Yeah, and my stuff, kind of, like to some degree, a lot of it is funny because I'm playing with something that's not trustworthy.
Yeah.
The whole notion is that we shouldn't be talking about this.
Yeah.
And doing that in San Francisco, they're like, we're not going to laugh because we shouldn't be talking about this.
Yeah. Like,
this guy shouldn't be allowed to say this.
You got to do it, Remind.
Yeah, I would love to. I mean, you keep saying it. I'd love to.
That's
no, I like Orange County. I've had fun in Orange County. I like San Diego. The only place at the moment that I don't like is my hometown where I grew up, San Francisco.
You probably never. Is Portland weird? I feel like Portland
would probably be weird, but I would be more than willing to go do it.
I've seen a really not PC comedian post clips from Portland, and it goes really well.
Yeah, actually, that reminds me. I have a buddy who wanted to book me up there. We should go together. That would actually be fun.
That'd be fun. Should we drive, or is that too long? Is that like
I don't
15
know.
hours?
I got $7,600, man. We can do whatever you want.
Yeah. I got 3 tires, but
we probably shouldn't drive. With my track record, we should not drive.
A lot of money. That'd be really fun. Portland would be
do like a Spirit Airlines flight and just do some shows in Portland. That would actually be great.
That would be good.
Yeah, I know someone who wants. We'll talk about that later. This is not interesting for a podcast.
No, let's talk logistics.
Actually, I got a question.
Let's do it.
Where do you draw the line, or is there a line at impersonations?
Yes. So I draw the line as if am I trying to sound like them or not? Yeah. So like the Morgan Freeman, like I just sound like him. Like, and people can still disagree with it, but I don't. Like, yeah, there's like a certain quality to it. Like, am I like impersonating the idea of them, or am I impersonating like their actual like voice and cadence and stuff? So like if I was doing like a Mexican guy, it's like, okay, I don't know about that.
And people used to do that.
Yeah.
That was like pretty standard stand-up comedy for a long time.
Yeah.
For decades. That was stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
There was that Asian comedian that Bobby always references, whose only joke was going.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that guy's, I've seen that clip. Yeah. Well, it was a guy who would, his opening line, he'd walk out and it'd be, everyone's clapping and they stop clapping and he goes, "Hello."
And then that's it.
No, but applause break, standing ovation. He would murder. They love this guy.
That's his whole thing.
Yeah.
I would say that's one of those laughing for the wrong reason
Yes,
jokes.
no, totally. That was also like 1979. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So let's say an anonymous person approached you and said, I have $100,000 and it's legit. In this scenario, this is legit. You're going to get the money. And they said, I need you to, as Morgan Freeman, admit to like a big crime. Say like, I'm Morgan Freeman and I killed those people.
Yes, that's it.
Oh, and then use it against him.
Yeah.
No.
So you wait.
More than 100.
Ryan, you're saying,
more than 100 to ruin someone's life.
You're saying you wouldn't use your impressions for evil?
Yeah, no. 100. No, it would have to be. It'd have to be like 160. God, okay. No, it'd have to be I don't know, $100 million.
$100 million?
Yeah.
Do like a spot on Putin impression for someone for 100 million?
And yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
That's like the generation wealth.
A Putin impression saying, we're ending the war.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Yeah.
Damn.
Saying something really incriminating that like ends it all for him.
I will say that sort of, there is AI that's like taking that job away from me. Yeah. There's like.
Does that scare you, robots?
Well, no, because the funny thing is like I'm doing it, but like there's like Obama bots that are like
spot on.
I'm gonna kill.
Well, they can just take the recording of Obama, right? That's not even impressive.
Well, but they can have him say whatever they want.
That's cool.
So that's what I'm saying. There's like robots that are gonna do that for cheaper than 100 million. Right.
Yeah.
It's also not funny.
No, you know, when a robot doesn't.
Well, it's also like the trick is you're not getting famous because you do just impersonations.
Yes.
Because they're funny impersonations. And some nerd that knows how to
well,
do AI.
Nerds aren't funny, man.
When push comes to shove, like with comedy, like I think you have to humanize whatever it is you're doing. And if it's literally not a human, it's not going to be funny. It's not comedy. No,
the human brain's cool with that stuff. Like anytime you see like AI art, like it's cool, but your brain is like, a human did not make that. Like there's just like a thing about it. You're like, nah.
But that's the whole point. Any art form, you want it to be made by
even deep
a
fakes,
fallible human.
When you see a deep fake, you're like, like what's up with that? Like that's not really that.
Now, Chris, for my audience, 49 to 51 racists, explain what a deep fake is.
Okay. Deep fake is when they like really accurately make someone's face look like a celebrity's face.
Right.
And it just like my face would just be Morgan Freeman's face. Well, not that, but you know what I mean. But like a really accurate AI face.
So when is the SNL audition? When's it going to happen?
For me, my God. I've been getting that question. I auditioned when
You're a no-brainer. Did you already audition?
I auditioned when I was 20 years old.
Okay.
And then
is that on the heels of the TV show? Or
it was 2 years, like a 2 years.
So he won a TV show. It was like Dana Carvey's version of Last Comic Standing that was only impressions, and he won. He won the whole thing.
That was my first thing I ever did. So I auditioned for SNL like 2 years after that, and I was like, I look back and I was like, okay, I was not funny. Like,
but they, to be honest, I don't know if you need to be. For
That's
like with your skill set, they've had people who were not funny, who were just good impressionists, and they put them on there. And now you're funnier, so now it seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah. I've been getting that like my whole life. You got to be on SNL. You got to be on SNL.
Well, you are born for it.
It's crazy. But so it's like such a weird.
I just can't wait until they're like, we need someone to do Morgan Freeman.
I think they definitely know who I am. So I wouldn't say it's like my decision at this point.
I think it's pretty well within reason that you would like be going out there for formal auditions.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
But I've literally been being told, it's like the kid that's told like, you're going to be a tennis pro. And he's like,
yeah.
I'm like, why? I'm not a tennis pro. Like, it just, I don't know. So I try.
And then you get the yips and you have a panic attack and your life's over. I watched that documentary. Yes. I know what happens.
So I don't know.
Pills,
it's weird.
Lots of pills.
A lot of comedians that do what I do live their life for SNL. And they're they're making like SNL type humor. And I was definitely doing that. I'm like, now that it's been long enough, I'm like, all right, I'm just doing my own thing.
Yeah.
And that's what my special was. Like, this is my own thing. If they want me, they want me. I'm not dealing.
No, that's smart. Well, and if you can sell tickets on your own, that might be more fun.
Yeah. I mean, back in the day, if you were an impressionist, that was like, it's like, you had to do SNL. You got to get on that show. Like, but now you can do anything.
Well, if you do the impressions on social media, build a huge fan base, go on tour, that's pretty fucking cool. I mean, that's what everybody did after SNL anyways.
Yeah. I want to be in like movies and TV. Like, that's my dream. So if I can skip the SNL phase that leads you there, like, I would gladly do that.
And in these movies, you'd be playing Morgan Freeman?
I would be playing all three old guys.
Oh, yes, I'm Michael Caine. Let's steal this goblet.
We're going to steal the goblet now. Here it is. Whoever the third guy was.
Like, you can't do an Alan Arkin?
I don't even think he was him. I don't know. No. Was he even in that, or was it Kevin Kline?
I want to say it was Alan Arkin, but I don't know. Anything's possible.
Wait, I think there was 2-3 old guy movies with Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, the ensemble old guy movie.
There was like a movie where it's like De Niro and Morgan Freeman go to Vegas or something.
That's Bucket List, right?
No, that's Jack Nicholson.
They should all just be called Bucket List.
They're all Bucket List. There was like a boner movie where there was like, let's go to Vegas and get boners and do stuff, and it was like, like that was the whole movie.
So that all being said, you want to get on SNL. You're afraid of getting canceled.
I'm desperate to be on SNL.
You don't want this to tarnish your reputation. What do you think about Kanye West?
Love him. I love his personal choices. I didn't know he made music. I'm learning. I just loved his statements.
Yeah, you voted for Kanye.
Yeah. People were like, he's a musician. I was like,
do you do Kanye?
No.
Do you do any rappers?
No, I don't think I do. No. No, but Kanye, yeah.
I mean, that's pretty rough territory, I guess.
I think Kanye is hard canceled.
Yeah, I mean, the ultimate cancellation is losing money. He lost 75% of his worth.
That's insane.
That's what I heard. And because it was all stuck like in a lot of his money was like loaned and like based on the success of his businesses. It wasn't real money. It was like
value.
It was just his value as an entity.
Yeah.
Which got cut by 3/4.
That's insane.
He's not a billionaire anymore.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Someone tweeted where they're like, he's just trying to get out of all of his contracts. Like he's got a plan.
Yeah.
And then the report came out like Kanye West escorted from the Skechers factory.
Yeah.
This guy's got no plan.
No.
This is a planless man.
There is no plan. He might have thought he had a plan, but it was not a good idea.
And also the thing with Kanye is like people like the people that are like, oh, he's a lyrical genius. He's so brilliant. Are also the same people that are like, yeah, he doesn't know what he's saying. He's like, he's mentally ill. I'm like,
those people are me.
I'm like, how can they can't both be true?
No, my bit that I did for like 2 weeks that freaked the shit out of people for a while was that I think he thinks in lyrics. Like I think he writes music so often and he's so mentally ill. He doesn't know how to be a human being. He just is writing songs all the time.
So he's just tweeting lyrics?
Basically. He's more comfortable. I mean, it's like if someone was more comfortable speaking Farsi than English. He's more comfortable speaking lyrics than human dialogue.
So they're just sound bites.
Yeah. In an interview, he said it's not Jew. You shouldn't say Jewish. You should say Jew, because why would you want to be Jew-ish? That's a Kanye line.
That is like something that would be in a song.
That's a lyric. And he's just saying that on CNN. You know what I mean? And
that's so weird.
Yeah, it's very weird. He's like barely on this planet. But I think a lot of artists do kind of get there, where they're so used to making their art that they don't think like human beings, because he doesn't have to think about anything.
Yeah. He
doesn't have to do his taxes. He doesn't have to put gas in his car. You think he's seen his children recently?
There's some comics that are like that. They're just not. They're only doing comedy.
I know one of them. First name starts with B. Last name ends with EE. Bobby Lee.
I mean, Bill Burr's the same way.
Is he?
Yeah, I think I told you. Like Jade Preda was on the road with him.
Oh, he's just always doing comedy.
And then she was having a conversation with him, and she thought she was having a real conversation.
And then he's doing the bits.
And he was just testing bits on her before he went on stage.
A one-on-one conversation.
He's just trying to get in the zone.
Yeah.
That guy has it all figured out. He's like, his ability to ramp his energy level up, to go from nothing to something and like find like experiment. It's, if you listen to him like doing podcasts or watch him do when he was on SNL, I was like, when I heard he was gonna do SNL, I was like, he can't read. I've listened to his podcast. He fucks up the ad reads all the time. He's tapped into some part of his brain where he's like, nothing can stop this guy. He had a great episode.
That's awesome.
His SNL episode was flawless, I thought. I mean, the monologue was insane. Like people freaked out about the monologue.
I remember that.
But I was like, in the sketches, he's going to be a disaster, and he was very good. I thought surprisingly good.
No, he tapped into his own craziness.
He figured it out. Well, it took him forever, but he's got the superpowers now. He can do anything he wants. That's what it seems like to me.
Yeah.
Can you do Bill Burr?
What do you think they thought? What did you think they thought? What? Yeah, what's the deal with women?
Yeah. What is he saying? He'll say something, this, and this, and he'll go, "What about this?" No. He always says no afterwards.
No.
You think that's a good idea? No. Yeah, that's what you got to do.
What? How did women put themselves at the front of the minority lines? You think they're oppressed? No.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's what he did on SNL.
It also sounds like he's related to Joe Biden, but
hey, folks, this is Bill Biden, folks.
Bill Biden. Have you thought about that? Mashups for TikTok? The people love that stuff.
Oh, that would be funny.
Like two different impressions together?
Yeah.
I've seen stuff kind of... Jonathan Kite does something like that.
He does? Okay.
But he does like one impression doing like he has one that's like Missy Sam Elliott. Mm-hmm. So it's Missy Elliott lyrics as Sam Elliott's voice. Mm-hmm. So he kind of does a mashup. But I've seen them done before.
People love that stuff.
People do love that stuff. I try not to be just too like, here's a voice doing a voice.
No, we should do like an actual bit. That's good.
Always do a bit.
I mean, it's called integrity. That's good.
His is a bit though, Jonathan, if you're watching.
Jonathan's great. Yeah.
Very funny.
He's definitely not watching, but he's great. What was I going to say? Oh, I watched a guy who does mashups, a country singer who does mashups.
Okay.
And it's like, it's impressive. He's doing a country version of like, 8 songs from 2004, and they're all in sequence. He's drinking a beer as he's doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. And it's like 3 million likes.
Yeah.
He's the most popular guy on TikTok.
Jeez. I always wonder about people that make just like content like that. Like, do they like doing this? Or is it just like because it works?
Yeah, well, at the beginning I've been watching a bunch of them actually.
Oh, good.
My TikTok feed is this guy and then people with no limbs dancing. It's a nice mix.
Yeah. We talked about this, how China like...
burn victims.
In China, they only let them watch certain like educational videos, and out here that's just burn victims and boobs.
It's just like things that occupy your brain in a non-productive way. That's all we have here.
Take up as many American brains.
Southern mashups, burn victims, huge tits. It's just like the kind of stuff that like we did a whole episode about this. The quiet quitter. It's like the guide to quiet quitting.
Quiet quitting?
You're just at your work at work, being apathetic, not working hard.
That's called quiet quitting.
It's a phenomenon on TikTok. People are obsessed with it. Quiet quitting.
I gotta look that up.
It's a popular phrase here. And what I said in the episode is big surprise. TikTok, the Chinese app, is promoting quiet quitting in America.
They want us to produce nothing.
Yeah, they want us to be like, cool, quiet quit. Like they want us to give up while they're building bridges and stuff.
I've been getting some pro Xi Jinping videos lately.
Yeah, that's not a huge surprise on TikTok.
I'm like, this is so like, you guys are tipping your hat too much on this one. It's like, look at how nice Xi Jinping is. I should learn a Xi Jinping impression. That would blow up. I'll tell you that. They would make sure that blows up.
Actually, I think that would get you on SNL.
Well, my favorite things about Xi Jinping, and I do it his voice.
Yeah, do like a Nelson Mandela. Like really branch out, I'd say.
Nelson Mandela.
I think, why not?
There's like that would be like...
Martin Luther King. I'm just suggesting black people.
Dead black civil rights heroes. That would be probably the
Malcolm X.
It's the most distasteful ones I could do.
Yeah. There are more distasteful ones you could do.
Anne Frank.
Yeah.
Here's Anne Frank eating at a birthday party.
What?
With Al Pacino.
And a birthday party is just at her birthday party. It's just her in the closet, like in the attic.
This is where our humor's mash.
Yeah, I can help you write the impression of Anne Frank for sure.
Oh, miss her.
So you're getting requests to come to people's colleges, but you don't have a college agent.
Don't have a college agent. I don't have an hour of material, but don't tell them that.
You don't need. I see these people on the. I just went through a list of people who had college agents. They don't have 15 minutes.
That's
These are
interesting.
Fucking open mic homeless people.
Can you do crowd work as like a character?
Sometimes.
Do you ever do that?
Yeah, like if I'm doing Biden, I'll have them like, hey, yell out a random topic, and then I can just riff. I'm like, oh, folks, you eat a
that's good.
bunch of goldfish.
So, dude, you have half an hour of you have 40 minutes of stuff you could do.
Yeah.
And then do 20 minutes of Biden crowd work. That's fine.
That is fine. Do you think I could do at these colleges stuff for my special?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
not even a big. It's like it did well, but it's not like
they're living under a rock. Those people, like if you go to a college, I bet you half of the people in the audience are like, "What's stand up?"
That is the weirdest thing when people like.
That's true. It happens.
I did a show last night and people were like, "This is my first comedy show."
Yeah.
I'm like, how's that possible?
I used to bark people into a room on Melrose, like all those little Melrose kids on scooters and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Half of them were like, I've never seen stand-up before. Never heard of it. They live in Hollywood, California. I'm like, what do you guys watch? And they're like, mostly, country mashups. They're just watching short videos. They have no attention span.
Yeah. Damn. What is stand-up? That's
they
bad.
don't even know what it is.
I will. Yeah, that's true. I do like getting people that are like, that was fun. I want to do that more. It's like, this happens. I do this every day.
It's the beauty of live performance. Like when it's good, it's amazing, and people will always come back for it.
Yeah, I remember all those shows where I was like, not me performing, watching like someone kill and leaving, just like being like high as a kite on life.
Yeah,
like that's so cool.
No, that's it. I mean, I watched Modi, the Orthodox Jewish comic, perform last night, and I left and I called up Kanye West. No, I don't even get half of the shit he's talking about. He was using Yiddish words for like 90% of it, and I was like, this guy is fucking murdering. Like
That's
it
cool.
felt good to watch.
That's so cool.
I couldn't believe there are Orthodox Jewish women with wigs on. Holding their wigs on, they're laughing. No, they weren't doing that.
That's awesome, though.
But it was cool. It was cool to see him just demolish the room.
I want to watch it. I think the hardest I've probably laughed in person is Dane Cook.
Really?
I stand by it. Yeah.
I mean, he kills. I know. I've never seen him live. I know he kills.
You've never seen him live?
Never seen him live.
You've been here for 6 years?
Never seen him live.
That's crazy.
He's a big fat guy, right?
Yeah, he takes his shirt off.
For Crusher. Yeah, that guy sucks. But Dane did put on some weight from like the Dane days.
Well,
he's like, I don't know, he's back to normal.
Is he? Okay.
He looks pretty normal. He's jacked. I'll say that.
Okay. Well, he wasn't. I mean, he wasn't like a.
He was never. I don't think he was ever fat. I think he's just big. He worked out a lot.
He used to be a skinny guy.
Yeah, but then he went away for like.
And now he looks like if you smush two pictures of Ben Affleck together.
I'm not laughing, but that is funny.
It's true. It's just the truth. Dane Cook is funny. Hardest I ever laughed at a show. Bobby Lee, definitely. I mentioned him earlier. I've seen him live and laughed really hard. Because he just loses his mind. Like the improvs are amazing. When he threatens to take his penis out and stuff. I mean, like great comment. Like I watched Louis do an hour a year ago, and that was amazing. I was like mind blown. It was incredible. Wow. But I laughed harder when Bobby Lee like threw his pube on an audience member.
Oh my God.
I think that's the reason why Bobby is like one of my favorite. It's probably he's my favorite.
He kills.
And it's not like he reuses a lot of material, but he's so good at making that night special for you.
Well, he's gonna do crowd work. He's gonna improvise.
He's like one of the best live performers.
I think he's probably the best comic in LA. That's my opinion.
There's a few. Well, first of all, Bobby's.
Well, Bill Burr lives in LA. Technically, he's great.
I always put Amir K really high.
He's good. Amir's great.
I've never seen him do bad.
Yeah.
I've literally been at shows where there's 6 people and he's there and he just crushes.
Amir's good.
Bobby Lee is like the exact same.
He's a murderer.
I met him, but behind the scenes, I've met him.
Oh, yeah.
And he like acts just like that. Yeah. I was like, oh my God, this is insane.
Jumping around.
Yeah. He poked me in the stomach.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Times when I just started working for Bobby, so I only met him like a handful of times. And I went up to him like, oh, hey, Bobby. And he just zeroed in on my stomach and would just
Yeah.
And then he would do like the doughboy laugh, and I'm like sitting there. He's not even paying attention to what I'm saying. He's just fixated on poking my belly.
Didn't he do that to like an executive?
Yeah, he did it to a director. He went to. He was doing some movie, and they went to like a baseball game, and then the director said something, and the Bobby goes, "Ah, fatty."
Do it.
So upset.
That's insane. I feel like that's insane.
He can't control himself. He has no impulse control.
That's awesome though. He tapped
That's why
into
he's
his
funny.
own thing.
Yeah.
He tapped into his funny
Lack
thing.
of impulse control is a trait that some comics have, no question.
Yeah. And I think it helps with crowd work a lot.
Helps with crowd work. It helps you like come up with crazy ideas. I kind of sound like Joe Rogan now. Do you do a Joe Rogan impression?
No, his voice is actually really high.
If I was Joe Rogan, I would be using the word creativity a lot right now.
Creativity.
Nothing makes you more creative than being a gambling addict. You know?
I've only Frank Caliendo can do Joe Rogan.
Oh, he does Joe? Tim Dillon does an okay Joe Rogan.
Oh, he does?
It's really high.
It is really high. His voice is high.
He goes like, yeah, dude. Yeah, man. He's like kind of, it sounds like he's chewing on something. Oh, man, yeah.
That's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah. Wow, man.
It's really high.
Yeah, you gotta go out of it.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I can't do him. I've seen him kill. I won't.
Oh, he's high energy. He's like,
if you're high energy will lead to killing.
I heard Chris Rock said that, and this, I think Joe took it as a compliment, and I think it's an insult. I heard Chris Rock said that Joe Rogan physically willed himself to be a good comedian.
I heard that about Kevin Hart.
I think they're both insults.
And
there is like, there's a kinesthetic aspect to doing stand up and doing act outs and like putting effort into it. There's no question that makes you a better comic. But when you say it, when Chris Rock says it like that, I don't think that's a compliment.
He was saying it as like, yeah,
He's
he tried
like,
really hard.
He like bench pressed his way into being a halfway decent comic. You know what I mean? He's just like, oh, and he's okay now. You know.
I saw him only live once, and I was like,
he kills. He fucking kills. I've seen him live.
He yells the whole time.
He's pretty much he's at a Sam Kinison volume the whole time.
Yeah, the whole time.
That makes sense.
And he talks about Sam Kinison all the time.
And you know what? For the amount of comedians that are in LA doing mumbling jokes that they're reading off their phone, it's refreshing. Compared
to you know what's refreshing? Watching a professional comic after seeing the worst comedians in the world do open mics in Los Angeles. People who are like, yeah, this is my third time. I don't know, and they're just like looking at their phones, or they're like really committed to just nonsense. LA open mics, sure.
I'm even at the Improv. They'll have someone I don't know.
No, the Improv's off,
and they're like, I've been smoking a lot of weed.
That's good. That you should do more of that.
That's good. They like that.
No, you should do impressions of bad open micers.
I riff. I was smoking a lot of weed, and funny thing is, like when you go on dating apps, when you're smoking weed, like you say things that you wouldn't mean. I'm like, Pop-Tarts. It's like, what the fuck was that?
I know who that guy is. That guy just won a huge settlement for $1.9 million. And he's a co-tenant at this office. And
You're roasting your friend.
I hope he gets hit by another truck.
I was not even talking about him. I was talking about other people.
I know. I have a general sense. It's a type of comedian.
It's just like, I know where every joke
very
is.
Very lazy.
Like, and then they read their phone. If you read your phone on stage, I'm pissed.
Not good.
I'm mad.
Well, it's bad joke writing. It's a bad persona. It's all lazy. Because
it worked when they were open micers, and now they're like, well, that worked when I was an open micer. Let's keep doing that. Like, it's insane. It's insane. They're not. Those are hacks.
They actually are.
Unlike me. I literally bombed last night. Literally last night.
Bombing for the archetype of the comic who calls everyone hacks. Bombing is part of the job. It is. You're supposed to bomb a lot. Yeah. It is also. Like with newer stuff, you're supposed to bomb.
Yeah. I did this. I was in Brea, older crowd, and I was doing a Harry Potter bit, and I was like, I could just tell. I was like, the biggest laugh of that whole bit was me saying like, have none of you read Harry Potter? And they all were like, like, no, we haven't.
That's really bad.
And I was like, this is
when they like throw away, like the frustrated throwaway line.
Yeah.
Murders.
Yeah. It's like, You are doing bad.
Yeah.
You are.
No, I hate that.
It was fine. I wrote it.
the only thing worse than that is if somebody in the audience says something and they get a bigger laugh than you got.
You're done. Your set's over if that happens.
Yeah. Well, I've had that happen recently when I was doing well, and I was like, I gotta hammer this guy.
Okay, good.
And I talked about fucking his dad. And people were losing their mind. Like, because he said something about someone's dad, like a Freudian slip of dad fucking. And I was like, wow, that guy got a really big laugh. And I was just doing pretty well. And I ended up doing some really brutal, insane crowd work about how I was going to fuck his dad in front of him and all this stuff. And, and they loved it. They were losing their minds. And he got involved. Like, he was on board. It wasn't like he didn't know how mad I was, but I was very mad.
You saved it. I've seen sets end after that.
Yeah. No, it was crazy. It was at the end of a pretty good set, and he just got this huge laugh. I kind of couldn't believe it.
I think it's positive. I think everyone's like, yeah,
we're
all having fun.
They don't understand how infuriating that was for me. Like, the dynamic. It's like, this is my fucking show. You're not supposed to get laughs.
I kind of like I've never gotten a heckler. Have you? Like, you suck. Bad.
Well, some guy threatened to kill you.
I would count that.
Yeah, I had a guy threaten to kill me.
So I'm going to count that.
Yeah, I've gotten heckles. I actually, in Vegas, I had a guy tell me, I was doing a bit making fun of Joe Rogan, and I had a guy say Joe Rogan's better than you. And I'm like, he's been doing comedy for 30 years.
I hope
It'd be
he's better
insane
than me.
if he wasn't better than me.
I've never been people will talk during my set, but it's never been negative.
Yeah, I've gotten some, not a ton, but some. Usually it's not.
I'm surprised you haven't gotten heckled, because like
I probably don't remember all of it. Oh, you know what? I had a guy. Yeah, there was a guy in Atascadero, which is like Bible Belt, Central California.
Your Q zone.
Yeah, it should be.
Should be. That should be your audience.
Should be my audience. This guy, he like threatened to fight me on stage. He wanted to have the mic. He wanted to go up. He came in late and was hammered, and threatened to fight me and wanted to hold the microphone. People had to hold him back and kick him out.
Oh my God. For what joke were you doing?
I was trying to do crowd work with him, and I was just making fun of him a little. And he goes, you just started making fun of me? That's not fair. And he's like trying to charge the stage out of his mind.
I bet he didn't know what stand-up was. He was probably
he didn't really get it. And I heard later that he someone told me that he did 4 tours in Iraq, and mandatory you have to do 3. So he went back he loves killing.
He went back.
He went back to kill more people. And he's a jiu-jitsu instructor in Atascadero. So that guy would have actually
You would have lost big time.
No, I'd be dead.
Yeah, because he loves that.
Yeah.
That's what he looks for.
But I talked about that afterwards. That was fun. Hey, that guy would have killed me. You know.
Yeah. Good for you.
But I've had some for sure. When you start doing actually, you'll never have to deal with this because you're you will have a fan base soon, and you'll never have to do shows where no one knows who you are in a weird environment, that kind of thing.
Maybe, yeah.
The likelihood of that is smaller for you. Like, I've done dive bars and like weird venues where like they barely even know there's going to be a show. That's where you get the crazy hecklers.
Yeah, because they don't know etiquette, or they're not even there to see you.
They don't need etiquette. Like, they're like, why the fuck is there a show right now?
I'm trying to drink.
Yeah. Yeah, those are the people who will freak out.
Like, the worst I bombed was at a car wash. I did a show at a car wash.
Oh, I know that show. The chicken
show.
Yeah.
That's the worst I've ever bombed. I was like, this is horrible. They hated me.
Yeah, but no one heckled you.
No. They should have. They really should have.
So, we've gotten to the like current event portion of the show.
Let's do it.
Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Well, now that they're reposting all my videos, I have to.
Yeah.
No.
Do you vote based on who would be a more fun impression? Do you care at all about politics, or is it mostly about the impression?
Well,
you took too long to answer.
I was gonna say I hate Trump impressions. Like, I never learned one. I was like, it was like before he was even president. I was like, I'm never.
Too many people are doing them.
They're all the same. I was like, I'm not doing this. Biden was fun because people didn't know how to make fun of Biden until.
Your Biden's good, and not a lot. There aren't that many people who do Biden.
No, but we all do it the same.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
will say that. But like, when he was like running, people were like, "What's his deal? Like, what's the bit gonna be?" And then he did that whole thing.
He fell off his bike, and we're like, "I think we got a bit."
I think we got. He's like, "Kids will come rub my legs." Be like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah,
he's that guy.
Yeah, he's the old president.
He's the old.
He's got dementia. He's old,
dude. No, it's all open now. Romney should run again, dude. He's not too old.
Yeah, Nader. I'm voting for Nader.
Ralph, get up there, Ralph.
Ralphie Nader, Green Party.
Did he die?
Yeah, I'm voting for him. Can you look up who the Green Party candidate was last time?
Jill Stein?
Guess who I think it is.
No. It was a guy. His name was like, Artie Lang or something.
Artie Lang. Yeah, it was Artie Lang.
It was like Ronnie. I thought he was hilarious. Hubie.
Howie Hawkins.
Howie Hawkins.
Yeah,
that's a sick name.
That's who I'm voting for. Howie Hawkins.
I love the Green Party. What are they doing? It's just like for publicity, right?
They're just stealing votes.
But
they're just dismantling the Democrats.
That's like their thing.
That's what Nader did. Nader got like way too many votes when he ran one time, and he almost lost it for Clinton. Is that possible? I forget who it was.
Yeah.
But if you run in the Green Party or the Libertarian Party and you're successful, you're just fucking up your party.
Yeah. I think that happened in 2016. I think a lot of people voted for the Libertarians.
Yeah.
There was, I think, wasn't it like during Bush or one of those presidents, a Libertarian won a state?
Wow.
Then maybe that was Ralph Nader.
Yeah.
No, Nader's green. He was Green Party.
No, he was progressive purple.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was his own thing.
Okay, I thought he was green.
No, I'm like pretty confident Gary Johnson won a state.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, this past election was like, some lady named Johan Jagerson or something,
Oh, yeah.
She's like not even from America.
You literally cannot be president.
Yeah. Some Swedish lady. Then honestly, that's what I should be plugging right now is Libertarian Party, because that's my audience. That would definitely be my audience.
Your crowd.
People have guns and stuff.
Yeah, they have guns.
I don't know.
That's your favorite.
I don't know who my audience is going to be.
Welcome back to Red Band.
What would be great is if I leaned into Red Ben, but turned into like a lame TikTok guy while doing it. Hey, it's Red Ben.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, like all the things that the red people would like are gone. But my name's Red Ben.
Any other current events?
Yeah, well, what's going on right now? I mean, the fact that Trump is running again, that's pretty big.
That's big. How old is he? He's got to be 75,
he's old as shit.
76.
He's 80?
No, I think he's like 76 because he was 72.
Was he okay
when he was elected? I think
he's up there. I mean, he's older than Biden, right?
He's 76.
76. That's insane. Have you ever met a 76-year-old that is working in any field?
Yeah, you don't want an 80-year-old president.
Anything. If a 76-year-old came to wash my car, I'd be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, I mean, I've met them, but I'm always just like, you shouldn't do this.
Stop. Like, be done.
Stop. Stop working at the cash register here.
Get out of here. Like, yeah. So that's gonna.
The economy's rough.
The economy is rough.
People are doing that sort of thing. Old people are going back to work. It's really sad.
That's horribly sad
because of inflation. And meanwhile, our friend, I keep saying friend to soften the blow. She's not even a friend. $1.9 million settlement. And he buys a Toyota 4Runner. He gets 2 miles to the gallon. I mean, it's just like you're rubbing your car in the face of inflation.
Knowing that it's like, I can handle it.
Yeah, I got enough. I'll be fine. Just blowing through money. I want him to bankroll me for gambling. That would be amazing.
If he gave you $6,000 and you could spend it in a week, you could turn it into
lose it.
It has to rain wherever you're betting.
Well, again, if he gave me if I had $4,000 to work with instead of the 400, we're talking about $70,000 right now. $70,000.
He's laughing because that's gambler brain.
Yeah.
And also, the great part about this is I'm doing it through the Churchill Downs app, where it goes through PayPal, and I can only take out $2,000 at a time. It would take me 35 days to take out the money.
Another day. That would feel so good every day.
Every day. Bathing in money.
Well,
yeah.
it's also probably good for you that you can only take out.
Yes. No, it is.
Yeah.
It is good. But it's also kind of intentional, the partnership, I think, with PayPal and this gambling app, because you can only take out $2,000 and then the rest is in your gambling app. So you can just gamble it.
Like, we're gonna hold it here for you if you.
Yeah, we'll hold it here where you
mess
can
around with this fake money.
Yeah, easily gamble.
So smart.
It is. It's pretty brilliant. You don't gamble. You don't drink.
No.
You don't. You have genitals.
I think so.
Yeah, you have sex. You have a girlfriend.
Don't have a girlfriend, but I'm dating.
You did for a sec. Weren't you dating someone?
I was dating a couple months ago. Yeah.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
She was real though. She existed.
So, what's your problem, man?
Yeah, what's your vibe?
What's wrong?
Everyone's got a vibe. I don't know. I drink a lot of caffeine.
Oh my god! Get this guy out of the studio.
I don't know what my vice is. I don't.
It's got to be something, or maybe you haven't found it yet, which is even that's
maybe that's scarier.
That's the rough one.
Yeah,
you're gonna find out that you're into something very illegal. God,
I hope not.
Do you have any inkling? Is there anything that's ever caught your eye where you're like, ooh, I could get into that? Crypto?
No, I hate money. I hate money. I don't do any drugs.
Hate money. You're good at impressions.
I don't know. I'm sounding fake. I sound like a Mormon right now.
No, you're perfect. Honestly, I think you should drop comedy and just run for political office
right now before anything comes
There's no
out.
red flags. There's nothing.
I don't think so. But also, like, again, maybe I have something I don't even realize is a red flag.
You have nothing. There's like no vice, no issue.
Sex is awful. I hate doing.
Don't enjoy sex.
The worst.
Well,
terrible.
You went to USC. You were in a frat at USC.
I was in a frat. I was sober the whole time.
Were you?
And yeah, never drank in college.
Was it a cool frat?
It was. They liked me. I was like the funny guy. So it was like all these big, tall beef guys. And I was
Have you
funny.
ever done any adrenaline junkie stuff like skydiving?
I want to.
If you ever
do you like that?
That would be it.
I mean, you've sucked the adrenochrome out of a baby, right?
Yeah.
You've at least done that.
But that's not a vice.
There we go.
That's nothing.
That's wood.
I don't know. I have no idea what my vice is. But you're
What do you, like, you get stressed out?
all the time.
We're both Jewish.
Yeah.
We both, our blood pressure, this is a fact. Black people have an extra calf muscle.
Not true.
And Jews have more bandwidth for blood pressure. We get freaked out.
We do.
The black thing is not true, but the Jewish people are more anxious than the average
100%.
person. We are. We're worried that the Holocaust could happen at any moment.
Yeah.
It's in our genetics.
Is that stuff true? Generational trauma? Is that real?
Yeah, that's legit.
That's crazy.
And it's really simple. It's like stress hormones are passed through the vagina. And that's it.
So if you have a baby during a really stressful period, that baby has that stress.
An acute stressful period, there easily will be an effect of like a increased cortisol or something like that. And then also on top of that, like if your mom has been anxious her whole life and she's carrying a baby, you don't think that's going to have, first of all, you don't think it's going to have any effect on you genetically, much less environmentally.
Yeah.
Because you got some of the genetic genes from your mom, Holocaust genes. And then your mom is an anxious Holocaust mom. Like it's a double whammy.
Yeah.
So that I think that's 100% true. The anxiety.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, also it's kind of the obvious thing, but it's comedy's probably your vice. Like going up on stage and putting yourself in this vulnerable position.
I am desperate for people to like me.
Yeah. All
the time.
Needy.
Very needy.
Well, that's why you're not doing it. That's why you're not enjoying the sweet, sweet adrenochrome. Because you're like, if I did that, then someone out there would dislike me. Is that possibly going through your mind?
It happens all the time. Like right now, you're catching me at a time where I'm getting the most feedback on my comedy ever.
Yeah.
With comments.
Are you reading comments?
I did for the first week, and then I was like,
can't do that.
I gotta stop. Because I was like, wow, not everyone likes me. This sucks.
I read a bunch of them. People are like crying. They love you so much.
Well, also from like the producer's perspective, even positive comments will hurt you because someone's like, "Oh, I love it when he does this thing," and then when you don't do that thing, it's gonna be in your head.
Yeah.
So
I forgot to do that.
You don't want that kind of feedback. The only feedback, you know this, but the only feedback you need is the laughter.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
That's the craziest thing is like, I'll post a clip. This was like a while ago. I posted a clip where the crowd is loving the joke. And someone commented, not funny. And I was so mad. I was like, the people there were laughing. It's a video of it being funny. So maybe that's my advice. I watched the Robin Williams documentary and I was like, damn, that's like very similar to me.
So it's going to be Coke.
It'll be whatever he was, but he was like desperate for people to. That
was that was it for him. He was always performing.
Always
needed people to like him.
So maybe that's part of it. Thanks, Chris.
You found
it.
Thanks for that.
Not for nothing. That's how. I mean, that's how you're going to be a good comedian. You have that.
It's a good disposition.
I need to always be better. It's never good enough. Like having over 100,000 views on your special, that's insane. And then it seems like you're very nonchalant about it. Like you're probably in the back of your head, it's like I need to be doing better, or I need to put out something better. And then
I'm horrified I got a bunch of followers, and the only thing I can think about is how I'm going to disappoint them.
Yeah, so you're gonna be
that makes you good. No,
you're going to be great.
That'll make you better.
No,
as long as you don't completely crumble, that'll make you better.
I won't crumble.
Yeah. I should have said this at the beginning. I mentioned that you have a special. A lot of people put out specials. And I know a lot of comics who fucking suck. Like a lot.
Ben The Menace.
and they put out specials, and I'm just like, and actually I know a lot of comics who, of course, I know a lot of comics who suck, because I'm not a successful comic, so I'm surrounded by everybody. But also I know a lot of comics who are okay, who put out specials, who have no fan base. And it's like you're putting out a special into the ether that nobody's ever going to see. So I should have said at the beginning, you have a special that's out that more than 100,000 people have watched, like a successful special. You have a good special.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You have a good special.
Yes.
And
that's pretty rare in the YouTube era.
Yeah.
That is true. Yeah.
I know people who are recording albums, and I'm like, you think people fucking listen to comedy from a guy who's not successful? Yeah. They're gonna be like, oh, on Spotify. Oh, cool.
I'm looking for new comedians on Spotify.
I heard this guy. I've never seen him before. That's never gonna happen.
I heard him before I saw him.
Yeah. What is this, 1950? It's not going to happen that way.
That is a really strange.
It's a cop out. That's a New York thing. That's if you want to hear shitty things about New York comics, I think on average are a little better, but they're so pretentious that they do these things that are just bound to fail. They're like, I'm recording my album. I'm like, you have 100 followers. What the fuck are you recording an album?
Why are you selling CDs?
Make content for the internet so you have people who want to listen. They're like, yeah, I'm not really into Instagram. I'm just going to record no one will ever hear it.
Yeah.
You might as well just record it in your room by yourself. And they're good. Some of those people are good, and they're recording albums that no one will ever hear.
The biggest problem with comedians is like the gene of marketing skills and comedy skills is like so rarely related.
Yes, it's extremely rare.
Some of the best comedians like
don't know how to market.
That you don't know are just horrible at marketing.
Yes,
not
giving a fuck is a great trait as a comic.
Yeah,
and if you truly don't give a fuck, you're not going to be like, hey guys. On social media, what's up?
You'll film the worst video ever.
You're not going to plug anything.
No.
You're never going to do that.
No. So that's part of it. But anyways, thank you for saying all those nice things about me and my special.
Do you have anything else to plug? Let's just social media.
Do we have questions?
Social media. All my social media is my name. Is Ryan Goldsher. I didn't want to spell my name wrong. Ryan Goldsher on everything.
Do you know your dates? Like
upcoming.
Yeah. No dates.
I always find out the
Virginia, College of Virginia,
University, West Virginia. I'm coming.
I don't know. You. My issue with you is like, why aren't you getting dates? What the fuck are you doing, man?
I don't know.
You're a good comedian, and you should be on the road. You should be like doing time on the road, and like you can make money.
Nah.
You're just here, fucking. Sitting on your awesome special, you sack of shit.
Sulk in my room, reading comments.
You should be booking. We'll do some together, but you should be doing dates on the road. There's no question.
Okay. Fine.
And you should be applying. I bet if I was going to gamble on this, I would make a lot of money. You submitting to college agents, I would bet on you getting in with every agency.
That's how it works.
You're a no-brainer. Just submit to every single one. They'll watch a tape of you. They'll go, oh, cool, this kid will make us a bunch of money. And then they'll sign you. And then you'll make like $3,000 for an hour of stand-up where you just, fart like Joe Biden. And they'll love it.
I should do that. Fine.
Colleges pay, as far as I know, like $2,000 to $4,000 an hour.
Damn.
That's like...
I got $50 last night for my set.
Yeah, you got $50. That's like, for me, that's like half of a day of horse racing for me.
That's yeah.
No, but it's good. It's good money.
Yeah.
All right. Ryan Goldsher, he named the podcast Ben The Menace. It's our first guest. He's not only a good person, he's a good friend, he's a good comedian, and I'm very jealous of him. Give it up for Ryan Goldsher, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, and check the descriptions for more ways to find everyone. And I'll put your dates in the comments. I'll talk to you about it and then put it in the comments. So
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.